Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Bootleg Signing Day edition. I'm your host, Tom Kreager, high school sports editor at the Tennessean, joined by some special football players that will be signing. On the call, I have Jake Berningstol from Ravenwood. Of course, he's going to Clemson. Junior Colson from Ravenwood going to Michigan, and John House IV from Brentwood going to Vanderbilt. Guys, thanks for joining us. And I think we may be getting one more person to get it, and when he gets on, we'll introduce him again. So thanks for joining us. What's this process been like for y'all? Let's start with Jake. What's this? Did it ever get old? Were you tired of it at any point?
Yeah, the recruiting process is a long process. Before it starts, everybody's always dying to get recruited, dying to get the first offer, and just college ball is a dream come true for me. So the process was a long process, and yeah, there were days where it definitely was or after Saturday morning, you have to get up early after a game on Friday and go on a visit. But all of my visits were worthwhile and worth my time. So I was really blessed to be recruited and had a good time throughout the process.
Looking down to Junior, of course, you've been, kind of like Jake, you've been committed to Michigan for a long time. Were you ever tired of the process? Were you tired of it? The phone calls, the text messages, everything else. I mean, did you ever get to you?
I don't know if tired is the word, because I was very blessed to be in this position. So I was very happy they were calling, but sometimes it did hinder with family time. So I wanted to spend time with my family. Sometimes a lot of them would be calling at the same time, but that's about it. But the rest of it was fun being recruited.
And John, same for you. I mean, did you ever say, man, this recruiting thing, I'm done with it. I'm tired of it. I'm ready for something. I'm ready for this whole process to be over.
Not really. I mean, it's a super fun process for sure. Like Junior said, it's a blessing. But they started to call at wrong times. I mean, during school, during class, but during family time, it got kind of annoying sometimes, but not too bad at all. I mean, I loved it. I enjoyed it. It's truly a blessing as well. So it was all good.
And folks, we're joined by our fourth Dandy Dozen person. He's making a big entrance there. Eli Sudden from Brentwood Academy. Of course, he's an offensive tackle going to North Carolina. We got a couple ACC guys in the house. Eli, thanks for joining the show. And the first question is, did this process, the recruiting process, ever get old for you where you're like, man, I'm tired of it?
At times, yes, because I know I can probably attest to some of these guys. The amount of text messages and phone calls just get really old after a while, especially because if you're not going to go to a school that really doesn't interest you, you really feel like you don't really want to respond at times, but you feel like you have to because of being polite and whatnot. But at times, especially when I got down to close to my decision date, I was really ready to find my home and be done.
Okay, let's have a little fun. You've all been recruited for a long time. Surely there's a good, clean, funny story that we can leave out some schools if you want. But just what is your funniest story that you experienced over the year that that you still talk about today? That this is I can't believe this happened, or man, this was the best trip ever. I mean, start with Junior started laughing, so let's start with Junior. Junior, do you have a funny story through the whole process? It's man, I cannot believe this happened, or I can't believe what part happened?
It's not really a funny story. It's just me and Jake would use the coaches coming to visit us as a way to get out of class. So coach would come to visit us 12 o'clock. We won't get back to class till 2 o'clock. We're talking to a coach. That was always our excuse. And then during test times, we'll always look outside the window, making sure coach will be coming pretty soon. We can get out of it.
So you made sure those conversations went a little bit longer than maybe they needed to.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, Jake, what about you?
I would say one of my stories would be me and my dad. We took a trip down to Auburn. We went down to Auburn and throughout for their spring game, and then just throughout the day, they were acting real interested, and then they said that Coach Malzahn was going to offer me. So then we went to go talk to Coach Malzahn, and then he just never ended up offering me. So then we kind of just went down there for really just nothing really. So that was kind of the funny story of my recruiting. But yeah, like June said, we spent a lot of time talking to the coaches at school and having fun with that. So But then
All
my
right,
most fun visit, I would say
uh-huh.
probably either Alabama or Clemson were probably two of my most fun visits I've been on.
Do they make sure every recruit goes down the slide at least once when you're on a recruiting trip there?
Yeah, no, they're when the first time I went in the summer for my junior year, they had like a long line of like 10 people just waiting to go down the slide to get out there. So everybody was just going down and having fun.
Eli, I think you've been down that slide at least once.
Yes, I have. It's as good as people say it is.
Yeah, it's definitely worth it.
And for you, Eli, is there a fun story? I mean, you're kind of a fun guy here. Surely you've got
Yeah,
something.
so probably my
that
best story was so we had that guy, what was his name? So we had an All-American photo shoot or whatever in Starkville, Mississippi. So I got invited to go to that. And so I went down there, took pictures or whatever. And so on our way to the game, we were going down to the photo shoot and our car broke down. The tire blew out. And so we're sitting on this intersection trying to fix this tire. And so I'm going to be late. So we call an Uber. I have to Uber from our broken down van to to the photo shoot. And then my stepdad fixes it, changes the tire, drives to the nearest Walmart, gets a new tire, fixes that. And then we drive back to Mississippi State, end up being late to the game. And like, we didn't get to see everything that we wanted to see. And then we just drove back on like a replacement tire to Nashville.
If that's not a sign that Mississippi State isn't the place for you, I don't know what is.
That's what we were talking about the whole way down there, or the whole way back up.
All right, John, what about for you? What funny story do you have?
You mentioned this before, but I've been called the wrong name before. I got sent this long text, this long, like, thought-out text, but he called me the wrong name, and I was like, no, this school isn't it. I mean, they called me the wrong name right off the bat, so I thought it was pretty funny.
Did they ever catch it and apologize, or do you think they had no idea that they called you by the wrong name?
It was kind of awkward, honestly. I was like, my name's John. You call me like the wrong name, but it's all good. But I don't know, he kind of responded awkwardly. It was kind of funny at the time.
For you, I mean, what when you go visit your school, what was it that really decided for you? I know COVID. I mean, some of you guys haven't been there forever, but what was it about the trips when you go to North Carolina and you make a trip to Vandy or make a trip to Clemson or Michigan? What was it that really sold you on those places? What made them different than anyone else? And I'll start with Eli.
So really, it was for me. I was honestly on a visit to Duke in early March, and so I always thought North Carolina was an interesting place, and so I was like, you know what, it's right. It's 10 minutes down the road. Why not we just go and see it? And so we go down there, and we're going through all the stuff, get to see all the coaches and all the recruiting guys, and see the campus. And when I'm like sitting in the bus driving across, I'm like, goodness, this is beautiful, and it's like it just feels different. Like whenever I'd go to a place, it would always be one thing's missing this, one thing's missing that, but like something you could look to overcome, right? Then when I went to North Carolina, it was just complete and perfect. And then on our way home, we drove home, so it was 8 hours, so I had plenty of time to think. And so we're driving back, and the whole way down, I was like, this place is really different. I instantly gelled with my O-line coach. I instantly gelled with the OC, and then Mac Brown's obviously one of the best men in college football, in my opinion, but it was just felt home, felt right. It was just that feeling in my heart as soon as I was driving back.
Well, and for you, so basically Duke, their biggest rival, helped you lure you to North Carolina because you weren't even planning on going there. You know?
Yep, you could say that.
John, what about you? What was it about Vanderbilt?
Just a family-based relationship with them. Since sophomore year, they've been recruiting me. I've been up there for games since I was little. I've had family go through there. But this week's been hectic. I mean, head coach leaving everything, it kind of hit hard. It definitely showed me that college is a business for sure. So I just got off the phone before this with the new head coach. So definitely makes me feel better about signing day and the years to come with Vandy.
And obviously Clark Lee, a local guy, an MBA grad, played at Vandy, played baseball at Belmont. I mean, for you, you've talked to Clark Lee. What is his message to the recruits? What was his message to you?
Basically, just don't worry. I mean, my spot's still there. He still plans on using me the same. Just not to worry. He's a great guy, great family guy, great defensive guy as well. I mean, he's done great at Notre Dame in the past schools he's been at. So just put my trust in him and and pray for the best.
Junior, for you, what was it about the campus of Michigan there in Ann Arbor? Just remember, my Hoosiers did beat your Michigan Wolverines this year. Maybe the only time it ever happens, but it took COVID to do it, but we did it. So go ahead.
I just loved everything while I was up there. Like, I loved the atmosphere, the players, the coaches. I felt like I gelled really well with our defense coordinator, which was our defense coordinator and our linebacker coach, which was what brought me into the fold. Like, I went up there for a camp my sophomore year. It was like going to my sophomore year or in my sophomore year. And like, that's where they offered me. They didn't know me or anything like that. So I worked out there, and ever since then, they've built a great relationship with me.
Is it too far from home? Or
No,
just far enough?
Because I fly most places. It's just far enough. I fly most places, so it's only like an hour flight, hour and a half.
So it's close enough where family can get up to you if they want to see you.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And Jake, for you, Clemson, what was it about the campus? What was it about it that just said, okay, this is my home?
Yeah, I would say like what those guys said, the family feel, and just like how genuine they were to me throughout like the whole recruiting process, and how everything they said was true, and I could depend on like what they were saying was actually gonna come true, and like they actually cared about me as a player and as like just like another guy. They didn't care just about football, but also fitting in with some of the other guys, and just guys I can build relationships with that last a lifetime, and guys that are gonna be my brothers in battle and play with next to each other for a long time.
COVID year. I mean, it's almost like you guys got your recruiting year taken away from you. I mean, this is the year, junior year is you get some traveling, but senior year is a chance to go out and see a lot of different schools and take official visits and everything. Do you feel like you got cheated? And if so, how did it? I mean, I think for the most part, you're all pretty much committed early. So, I mean, you knew where you're going, but did you feel like you got cheated out of chance to go to a lot of games, a lot of special things to really get a good look at where you're going? And Jake, I'll start with you. I know you went to one game this year.
No, yeah, like you said, we went to the Miami game this year, but yeah, the official visits was probably the biggest not loss, but like miss that we had, because official visits are usually like the most fun visit you get to go on. But I would say, yeah, I'm thankful for being committed before COVID hit, so I wasn't worried about blind committing or not being able to see where I was going to be able to go. So I was thankful for that. But yeah, I would say it kind of sucks that we didn't get to do everything that like people would be able to do in a normal year, but it wasn't too bad.
It kind of sucks. Just officials, what Jake said, being taken away from us, because a lot of us plan on like that's where it's fun. Like, you get to see everywhere. You decide which place is truly home.
John, for you, I mean, not being able to go. I mean, I don't know Michigan even recruited you, but. Was it hard this year of not being able to take those official visits to really know during the season that, hey, I want to go see this game. I want to go see what this is like.
Yeah, it was super tough. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
Yeah, it was super tough, but I mean, Vanderbilt's in my backyard basically. So I've been going there since I was a kid. I know everything about it. But yeah, Michigan recruited me as well, and they were definitely top 3. And I've been up to Michigan a bunch. I have family up there, so I've been to a few games and visits and stuff like that as well.
Eli, for you?
Honestly, it was the officials and me being committed literally almost like a week before COVID hit. It felt honestly like the perfect time to commit. And then when all this stuff went down, I was like, oh, well, this is good, because my dad's been a big influence in my life because he's been with the college game and stuff like that. And he was like, I think you really did commit at the perfect time, because by the end of this, a lot of people are going to be stuck without a home. And I feel like that's still happening now, finding places to commit. And now it's the only thing that really I miss is being able to go up to as many North Carolina games as I can, because that is where you really get to bond with your teammates and see the fans and have fun, really. And the official visits, obviously, where you get to have the most fun and really square everything down on what you're going to do with the school when you're enrolling, what you're going to major in, and then get to stay overnight with all the guys and really get to start building that team camaraderie that everybody says is wonderful.
What's signing day going to be like for you? I mean, obviously there are much smaller crowds for a lot of places, totally different. I mean, what's signing like going to be, and how are you guys going to celebrate it after school? I know this is also semester exam time for a lot of y'all, or all y'all. And then also, which one of y'all are, I think Junior and Jake for sure are early enrolling, but are those the only 2 early enrollees? But we'll start with Jake. I mean, early enrolling, what's signing day going to be like for y'all?
Yeah, signing day is definitely different this year. Years past, I mean, last year when Ravenwood had the signing day, we had 14 guys signing in. The whole team, like half the school, I would say, was in there, all celebrating those guys. And it kind of sucks that this year it's going to be like limited attendance and all the guys don't get to come in there and celebrate with us. But it'll be different, but it's still going to be a dream come true for me. And really bring it into reality that putting the pen to paper and just moving on to the next step of life. And early enrolling is definitely something I'm very happy about and excited for, because just the advantages it brings, having the off season before my first full season there, and then just being around the guys and building those relationships before we play a season next to each other. So I'm excited for that.
Any big celebration plans tomorrow night at home or at a restaurant or anything, or do you know yet?
Yeah, me and June are going out to eat together.
There you go. Junior, same question for you. I mean, what's it going to be like tomorrow? Like you said, last year there was like a ton of Ravenwood kids there. There's a lot of people there. It'll be a lot greatly reduced. It's going to be totally different. And but hey, you still get to have this moment.
It's going to be amazing because it's going to make it seem more real. You're finally writing your name on that line. You're being committed. Because it's only like top 1% I heard that makes it to college football, and being part of that is just great. And then being an early enrollee is amazing because I get to go up there, meet my teammates, know who I'm going to be playing against, start working out, start getting to know like the layout, the playbook. So it's going to be an amazing time.
Junior, do you feel like you're going to miss anything, like miss out on your prom, miss out on walking the line with everyone? I mean, do you feel like you're going to miss any of that?
I don't think I'm going to miss any of that because I feel like I've lived high school. I've gone through it, and now I think it's time for like a new chapter. It's time for a new page in the book.
Okay. John, for you, I mean, what's it going to be like on signing day?
It's going to be super fun. I mean, like Jake said, having limited people go kind of sucks, but I mean, it'll still be fun, and it's a blessing to do it. And then I have plans with family and friends afterwards. Probably going out to eat or something like that. And then I'll be graduating early as well, going into Vandy in January. So I'm excited to get with the team, the new head coach, and the whole staff and everybody.
And what was the deciding factor for you to go ahead and commit to enroll early?
Playing time. I'm trying to play early and get ahead on school as well.
Finally, for Eli, how are you going to celebrate? And I think I'm going to see you tomorrow at 3 is the plan. So I hopefully will see you for your ceremony. What's it going to be like?
It'll be fun, really. I mean, I never would have thought this day would have come. I used to play football for fun. Never would have thought it would have been something I'd be paying for school for. And then when it becomes real is when you sign your name and you sign it. It's like, hey, I'm actually, because really a verbal commitment's nothing until you sign that paper. Mm-hmm. And then family plans. I'm going to go dinner with my grandma on Saturday. We have a little get together at her house. I'm the only one.
You're playing basketball.
Yeah, I'm the only one not early enrolling because.
Yeah, and are you doing track too? You're a thrower? Is that right?
Yeah. Try to win myself 2 individual ones. I was close. I would have won it last year, but COVID hit. So
yeah. All right. Well, folks, we're gonna call it a night. I appreciate it. Thank you all for joining us again. This is our Bootleg Dandy Dozen edition. Of course, we want to thank our sponsor, Farm Bureau Health Plans. Without their support, we can't do shows like this, like we've done all year. This is really the highlight of the season, getting a chance to talk to some of the future college stars from Middle Tennessee, and we appreciate it, and we'll be looking forward to it, and hope you all have a great day and a great night, and celebrate. It's a big achievement for all of you guys, and we're gonna be signing off. I appreciate all you guys for being part of this show.
Thank you, Kreager. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for having us on.
And this has been the Bootleg presented by Farm Bureau Health Plans.